Hello and welcome to a new AP Computer Science Principles explanation video. Today I will be showcasing my work on the ciphertext project. So what this project is meant to do is take a word that you type in as quote-unquote plain text and shift it and make it capital, and that is the cipher. So for instance, if we were to type in the word hello and then click the word encrypt, it turns it into capital J, capital G, capital N, capital Q. Now, it also has a decrypt function, which is this button here, and I'll explain the code in just a second. So if the plain text is blank and you have letters in the decrypt text, then you click the decrypt button and it will go back to the original word that you came from the encryption. So another feature here seen here is the reset button. It turns it both to 0, and the shift button, which changes the shift by whatever number you put in. So how it works is, if you take a look at the code with me, when you click encrypt, it shifts using the get shift function, which is the get shift takes the shift from here that you inputted, and then it shifts it over in the alphabet to the right that many letters, so 4 letters. So hello would now become LIPPS instead of what it originally was when we had a shift of 2, JGNNQ. That's just seen here. We use the plain text, which is here, and it starts with a length of 1, and that sets the character. And then it sets the ciphertext, which is this box here, and takes the ciphertext and then takes the cipher alphabet and starts at the index with a length of 1. So all this code is just basically saying it's going to encrypt and shift over based on what you put in that shift box, and it's just going to change the shift in the alphabet. So then if we go to the decrypt button, which is this button here, and this is the decrypt function, and it's connected here. When button decrypt click, it calls the Caesar decrypt. So back to the Caesar decrypt function. So this also takes the shift that we have here, but reverses it. So it's very similar code, but it just takes the encrypt, takes the encrypted word and turns it back into plain text and puts it back into the plain text box. So it's, as you can see, if you look at the two blocks of code, they're very similar in that we see the initialize local character, initialize local index, ciphertext, and then plain text, and then it calls the alphabet, calls the shift from the actual emulator, and then this one is just instead of doing text plain text that's in this is for the shift function, it takes the ciphertext, and that's basically one of the only differences. See, it just gets plain text instead of gets ciphertext, and vice versa. Cipher alphabet, plain alphabet. So it's just a simple decrypt and encrypt function that has an extra reset button, which is seen here. One button reset, click. It turns it both to blank text boxes, and then changes the label back to normal. This label here, this text box, it changes that to just a decryption and then the space. But when we put something in, that changes to the actual alphabet here that we have inputted. So it's a relatively simple piece of code, and I hope this video works out. Thank you so much for listening, and have a nice day.